Hello and good afternoon.
Ask questions.
Here is the news at 4. First, the highlights. Lagos State government announces plans to host Investors Africa Social Impact Summit. Federal government commences tuition-free postgraduate diploma for teachers handling technical vocational subjects in secondary schools. On a foreign scene, Kenyan police fires tear gas at anti-government protesters. And in sports, Nigeria International Ola Aino signs 3-year contract with Nottingham Forest. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State government has announced plans to host the Lagos Investors Summit 2.0 and Africa Social Impact Summit 2025. Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, Folashade Ambrose, who stated this during a press briefing at Alausa Ikeja, said the two strategic investment summits are aimed at accelerating economic growth and sustainable development across the state and the African continent. Ambrose noted that the summit will bring together visionary investors, policymakers, industry leaders, development partners, and global stakeholders to explore bold solutions that will drive infrastructure expansion, unlock financing, deepen enterprise growth, and power digital innovation towards making Lagos a 21st century economy.
Lagos State is poised strategically at the nexus of opportunity and innovation. With these summits, we vividly showcase our commitment to sustainable growth, economic prosperity, and inclusive development. This is not merely a declaration, but an open invitation for active participation.
In her remarks, Special Advisor to the Governor on Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, Oreoluwa Fini, emphasized the need for collaborations among government, private sector, and development partners, which affirms the goals 17 of the SDGs, representing a bold step towards sustainable growth and long-term prosperity for Lagos and Africa at large. The state government's partner from the private sector, Chief Executive Officer, Sterling Foundation, Olakweju Ibekwe, commended Lagos for being the best investment destination and innovation hub in Africa.
Is to attract impact investment into viable and scalable solutions on the continent of Africa. And finally, it seeks to advocate for the right policies to ensure the investments continue staying and growing on the continent. We are glad to confirm that this platform has so far unlocked over $100 million.
Ibekwe hinted that the previous summits had unlocked more than $100 million investment for the state to further accelerate the Sustainable Development Goals 17. The Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board has honored outstanding health workers and top-performing primary health centers, PHCs, at its 4th bi-monthly performance review meeting held in Ikeja. The event, organized in partnership with the Clinton Health Access Initiative and supported by Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, is in recognition of exceptional officers in charge from various PHCs across the state for their outstanding contributions to quality service delivery. Director of Planning, Statistics and Research at the board, Temitope Balogun, praised the recipients and urged PHC staff to continue embracing training and capacity building to improve healthcare delivery. Balogun stressed the importance of collaboration in achieving health equity and commended all stakeholders for their continued commitment. The Senate has passed a bill mandating that all raw materials must undergo a minimum of 30% local processing before they are exported from Nigeria. The decision followed the adoption of the report by the Senate Committee on Science and Technology on the amendment of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act 2022. The bill, sponsored by lawmaker representing Ebonyi North, Onyekachi Nwebonyi, seeks to promote value addition, strengthen the local manufacturing sector, reduce reliance on imports, and stimulate sustainable economic growth. In his remarks, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, said the amendment marks a major step towards the country's industrialization. And now to the rest of the stories. The Federal Ministry of Education has announced the commencement of the 2025-2026 Technical Teachers Training Program, a tuition-free one-year postgraduate diploma in education aimed at upgrading the skills of secondary school teachers handling technical and vocational subjects across Nigeria. The initiative, which was unveiled through the Ministry's Department of Technology and Science Education in Abuja, is part of the government's renewed commitment to strengthening technical and vocational education and training, TVET, in the country. According to the ministry, the program seeks to re-energize TVET by equipping teachers with modern pedagogical skills and aligning their knowledge with contemporary industry standards. Eligible participants include teachers currently teaching technical or vocational subjects in public secondary technical schools or colleges with at least 5 years of service left before retirement. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has expressed concerns over the still high inflation rate in Nigeria, advising the federal government to intensify its economic reform efforts. In a country-focused article released on Monday, the IMF noted that current challenges such as high inflation, widespread poverty, and weak infrastructure are hindering growth despite ongoing policy shifts. Although it acknowledged the efforts of President Bola Tinubu's administration, it expressed concern that inflation remains stubbornly above 20%, while highlighting that poor infrastructure, particularly unreliable electricity supply, was a major obstacle to economic activity. It also noted that poverty and food insecurity remained widespread, worsened by the absence of a comprehensive social safety net to protect the most vulnerable citizens. And now to foreign news. Kenyan police have fired tear gas to disperse protesters in the latest wave of anti-government rallies that began last year. The demonstrations marked the 35th anniversary of the historic Sabasaba protests that launched Kenya's push for multi-party democracy. From early morning, security forces blocked all major roads in central Nairobi ahead of the protests. The city center appeared deserted, with businesses shut and a heavy police presence on the streets. Elsewhere in Nairobi, clashes broke out as demonstrators lit fires and attempted to breach police cordons. Officers responded with tear gas and water cannons. Away from all that, now sports. Nigerian international Ola Aina has signed a new 3-year contract with Nottingham Forest, extending his stay at the Premier League club until June 2028. The 28-year-old fullback joined Forest in July 2023 on a 1-year deal following the expiration of his contract with Italian side Torino. He made an immediate impact, featuring regularly at left back as the club narrowly avoided relegation in his first season. According to Athletic, Forest activated a 1-year extension clause in Aina's contract in May 2024 after securing their Premier League status. The new long-term deal now reflects the club's continued faith in the defender's consistency and versatility. And that's all for the news at 4. Always carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicle before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. On X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. On YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. You can visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a mentorship seminar for over 1,000 youths on the theme Agripreneur Strategy for Wealth Creation? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has announced plans to host the Lagos Investors Summit 2.0 and Africa Social Impact Summit 2025. The Federal Ministry of Education has announced the commencement of the 2025-2026 Technical Teachers Training Program, a tuition-free one-year postgraduate diploma in education aimed at upgrading the skills of secondary school teachers handling technical and vocational subjects across Nigeria. We also told you that Kenyan police have fired tear gas to disperse protesters in the latest wave of anti-government rallies that began last year. And in sports, Nigerian international Ola Aino has signed a new 3-year contract with Nottingham Forest, extending his stay at the Premier League club until June 2028. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Idowolaya. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.